We bring the information to you undiluted, verified, accurate, balanced, and without bias. Told from a human angle perspective. We interview the actors and the experts. All facts laid bare. From Nigeria to the rest of the globe, we deliver news on time and in time. This is Globe File on Adamimogo 93.1 FM, Lekki, Lagos.
Afternoon. This is Globe File on Adamimogo 93.1 FM Lagos. I'm Ayo Adekeye. The headlines. Tinubu says Nigeria to spend $11.6 billion on debt servicing in 2026. Konto Wisizwe Party seeks impeachment of public prosecutor over Palapala probe. Trump says China not expected to play key role in resolving Iran conflict. Now the news in detail. We'll begin from home, where President Bola Tinubu has revealed that Nigeria is expected to spend about $11.6 billion on debt servicing in 2026. A figure he said represents nearly half of the country's projected revenue for the year. Speaking at the Africa Forward Summit in Nairobi, Kenya, Tinubu called for stronger economic integration across Africa and urged leaders to adopt policies that support industrial growth and long-term prosperity on the continent. He stressed the need for reforms in global financial system, arguing that Africa should not continue exporting raw materials while depending on imported finished products. The president noted that Nigeria has incorporated migration management into its wider economic reforms, including fuel subsidy removal, banking recapitalization, and agricultural modernization. Outside Nigeria, President of Ghana, John Mahama, has approved the immediate evacuation of 360 Ghanaian citizens living in South Africa following a recent surge in reported xenophobic attacks. Minister of Foreign Affairs Samuel Adbloakwa said the affected citizens had earlier registered with Ghana's High Commission in Pretoria after the Foreign Ministry advised nationals to seek assistance. Adbloakwa said the Ghanaian government remains committed to protecting the welfare and safety of its citizens both at home and abroad. The evacuation follows growing unrest in South Africa over undocumented migration, with protests erupting in several areas as some citizens called for the deportation of foreigners. Although several African countries and international observers have described the incidents as xenophobic attacks, the South African government has continued to reject that characterization. Now to South Africa, where the Umkhonto Wesizwe Party has formally requested impeachment of public prosecutor Koleka Gaklika over a handling of the controversial Pelapela matter. The party confirmed that it had written to National Assembly to begin impeachment proceedings under Section 194 of the Constitution. MK Party spokesperson Lamolo Delela accused Geleka's office of incompetence and misconduct, claiming it failed to refer important matters to the relevant authorities and overlooked signs of criminality, maladministration and abuse of public power. The party also criticized what it described as a selective and questionable investigative approach, arguing that the public prosecutor's office should serve the public independently rather than protect political interest. The MK party said it wants Parliament to urgently begin impeachment proceedings, insisting that Chapter 9 institutions must remain impartial and free from political interference while carrying out their constitutional duties. In Kenya, Dan Giokion, proprietor of the Karen Hospital, has dismissed claims that former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua was admitted to the facility in October 2024 as part of a scheme to avoid impeachment proceedings. During proceedings at the High Court in Milimani today, Deputy President Kuthuri Kidiki's lawyer, Muthomi Thiakulu, suggested that medical assessments could have been fabricated to justify Gachagua's absence from the sentence.
You admitted the petitioner, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, to hide him, suggesting he wasn't sick. And I think you responded by laughing. Now that you have finished laughing, will you please answer the question? Was Rigathi Gachagua sick or not sick? Why are you hiding in your hospital? Please answer. It is a serious question.
Responding, Gachagua denied allegations that the hospital issued a false diagnosis to help Gachagua evade appearing before the lawmakers.
I must say I laugh because I thought it was not a serious question. The answer is yes, he was sick. We admitted him. We have data that's available to any medical person. We have medical reports. We have traces of his ECG, his echoes, everything, lab data that's available and available on demand by this court. I was the one who was treating him with my team. He was sick. We have data. We have provided an affidavit. If there's any further questions, we will provide it.
Gachagua had been rushed to the hospital on October 17, 2024, shortly before he was due to face cross-examination in the Senate during his impeachment process. You're listening to Globe File on Adami Mogo 93.1 FM Lagos. Still to come, Trump says China not expected to play a key role in resolving Iran conflict.
You can listen to Adami Mogo 93.1 FM from any part of the world. Download the Adami Mogo 931 FM app from Google Play Store and Radio Garden. And follow us on Adami Mogo 93.1 FM on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you have eyewitness stories or exclusive to share, contact the Adami Mogo FM newsroom via mail at newsroom@adamimogofm.com. Or you can dial 070-634-03583. You can dial 090-319-69629. Adami Mogo 93.1 FM Lagos, voice of the light.
Thank you for staying with us, and now to the rest of our stories. U.S. President Donald Trump departed for China today ahead of a major summit with Xi Jinping, saying he does not expect to rely on Beijing to help resolve the ongoing conflict involving Iran and the Strait of Hormuz. Before leaving Washington, Trump downplayed China's potential role in ending the conflict, which has continued to disrupt maritime traffic through the important waterway that carries around 1/5 of the world's oil supply.
Do you think he needs to intervene at all with the Iranians?
I don't
Do you think he
does,
can help
no.
in any way?
No, I don't think we need any help with Iran. We'll win it one way or the other. We'll win it peacefully or otherwise. Their Navy's gone, their Air Force is gone, every single element of their war machine is gone. They've killed a lot of people. They've killed 42,000 people at least over the last month and a half. We win.
Washington is demanding that Iran abandon its nuclear program and end its control over the Strait of Hormuz, while Iran is seeking to get compensation for war damage, the lifting of U.S. sanctions, among others. Meanwhile, President U.S.-China Business Council Sean Stein said the meeting with China was timely and crucial for global stability.
Two presidents talk, good things happen. So we're quite optimistic that the two presidents are going to find a really good landing zone on a lot of different areas. So what both countries need more than anything else is they need stability. And I think having the two presidents talk is going to be an injection of stability that's going to help keep the relationship on an even keel that it needs to be, for the next year or even beyond.
China remains one of the largest buyers of Iranian oil and maintains close diplomatic ties with Iran despite U.S.-Israeli threats. In the meantime, a Chinese supertanker carrying 2 million barrels of Iraqi crude has attempted to sail through the Strait of Hormuz this morning. The very large crude carrier, Junal, has passed Iran's Larak Island and is on the eastern side of the strait heading to the south. If successful, the voyage would mark the third known passage by a Chinese oil tanker through the Strait of Hormuz since the start of the U.S.-Israeli war, which began on the 20th of February. Iran has appeared to firm up its control over the Strait of Hormuz in recent days, cutting deals with Iraq and Pakistan to ship oil and liquefied natural gas from the region. Other countries are exploring similar deals in a move that could normalize Tehran's control of the waterway on a more permanent basis. Elsewhere, 4 people have been under observation in Italy for possible antivirus infection, and they've all tested negative. The Italian Health Ministry in a statement today said tests were conducted on an Argentine tourist hospitalized with pneumonia, a man from the southern Italian region of Calabria who was in voluntary isolation, a British tourist located in Milan, and a companion traveling with him. The Health Ministry said tests conducted in hospitals in Rome and Milan came up negative for all 4 people, adding that the risk connected with the virus remains very low in Europe and Italy. Hantavirus is primarily spread by rodents but can be transmitted between people in rare cases, according to the World Health Organization. It usually begins with flu-like symptoms such as fatigue and fever 1 to 8 weeks after exposure. Finally, to sports, where Jake Paul is facing uncertainty of his future in combat sports following his brutal knockout defeat to Anthony Joshua last December. The YouTuber turned boxer suffered a shattered jaw during the heavyweight clash and later underwent corrective surgery. Since then, he's spent months recovering and remains unable to spar while waiting for medical clearance. Paul recently revealed that upcoming scans will determine the progress of his recovery and whether he will even be able to fight again. Paul's business partner, Nakisa Bidarian, confirmed that the current plan is for Paul to focus on cruiserweight while targeting a comeback before the end of the year. And just before we bring Glofa to an end, here's a recap of the biggest stories. President Bola Tinubu has revealed that Nigeria is expected to spend about $11.6 billion on debt servicing in 2026. A figure is said represents nearly half of the country's projected revenue for the year. As on the news, Makoto Wisizwe Party has formally requested the impeachment of public prosecutor Lekki over a handling of the controversial Pele matter. Finally, we told you Donald Trump departed for China today ahead of major summit with Xi Jinping, saying he does not expect to rely on Beijing to help resolve the ongoing conflict involving Iran and the Strait of Hormuz. That's Globe File. Join us at 2 o'clock for more stories on the briefing on Adami Mogo 93.1 FM Lagos. I'm Ayo Adekeye. Thank you and